Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Brahmanandi, Haribo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Parivajika. Jayastu Tarashata Shri Srimad Vangre Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Oh, this is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi, Haribo, Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So this is a reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 1, text number 35. Hari Bhakti Vilasa Ara Bhagavatamrita. Dakama Tipani Ara Dakama Charita. Hari Bhakti Vilasa Ara Bhagavatamrita. Darshanarti Pani Ara Dashama Charita. Hari Bhakti Vilasa Ara Bhagavatamrita. Dashamarti Pani Ara Dashama Charita. Mataji's. So this is the word-for-word meanings. Hari Bhakti Vilasa. The scripture named Hari Bhakti Vilasa. Ara and Bhagavatamrita. The scripture named Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Dashama Tipani. This is comments on the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ara and Dashama Charita. Poetry about the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Ki Jai. Some of the books compiled by Srila Sanatana Goswami were the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Dashama Tipani, and Dashama Charita. Purport. In the first wave of the book known as Bhakti Ratnakara, it is said that Sanatana Goswami understood Srimad Bhagavatam by thorough study and explained it in his commentary known as Vaishnava Toshani. All the knowledge that Sri Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami directly acquired from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was broadcast all over the world by their expert service. Sanatana Goswami gave his Vaishnava Toshani commentary to Srila Jiva Goswami for editing, and Srila Jiva Goswami edited this under the name of Laghu Toshani. Whatever he immediately put down in writing was finished in the year 1476 Shaka, which corresponds to the common era of 1554. Srila Jiva Goswami completed the Laghu Toshani in the year Shakabda 1504, which is about almost 30 years later, 1582. The subject matter of Hari Bhakti Vilasa by Sanatana Goswami was collected by Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami and is known as a Vaishnava Smriti. This Vaishnava Smriti Grantha was finished in 20 chapters known as Vilasas. In the first Vilas, there is a description of how a relationship is established between the spiritual master and the disciple, and mantras are explained. In the second Vilas, the process of initiation is described. In the third Vilas, the methods of Vaishnava behavior are given, with emphasis on cleanliness, constant remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the chanting of the mantras given by the initiating spiritual master. In the fourth Vilas are descriptions of samskara, the reformatory method, tilak, the application of 12 tilaks on the 12 places of the body, mudra, marks on the body, mala, chanting with beads, and guru puja, worship of the spiritual master. In the fifth Vilas, one is instructed on how to make a place to sit for meditation, and there are descriptions of breathing exercises, meditation, and worship of the Salagram Shila representation of the Lord Vishnu. In the sixth Vilas, the required practices for inviting the transcendental form of the Lord and bathing him are given. In the seventh Vilas, one is instructed on how to collect flowers used for the worship of Lord Vishnu. In the eighth Vilas, there is a description of the deity and instructions on how to set up incense, light lamps, make offerings, dance, play music, beat drums, garland the deity, offer prayers and obeisances, and counteract offenses. In the ninth Vilas, there are descriptions about collecting tulasi leaves, offering oblations to forefathers according to Vaishnava rituals, and offering food. In the 10th Vilas, there are descriptions of the devotees of the Lord. Vaishnavas are saintly persons. In the 11th Vilas, there are elaborate descriptions of deity worship and the glories of the holy name of the Lord. one is instructed on how to chant the holy name of the deity, and there are discussions about offenses committed while chanting the holy name, along with methods for getting relief from such offenses. There are also descriptions of the glories of devotional service and the surrendering process. In the 12th Vilas, Ekadashi is described. In the 13th Vilas, fasting is discussed, as well as observance of the Mahadwadashi ceremony. Pardon me, I'm going to actually use this. In the 14th Vilas, different duties for different months are outlined. In the 15th Vilas, there are instructions on how to observe Ekadashi fasting without even drinking water. There are also descriptions of branding the body with the symbols of Vishnu, discussions of Chaturmasya, observations during the rainy season, and discussions of Janmashtami, Parshvaikadashi, Shravana Dvadashi, Ramanomi, and Vijayadashami. The 16th Vilas discusses duties to be observed in the month of Kartik, October, November, or the Damodar month, or Udurja, when lamps are offered to the deity, or lamps are offered in the deity room or above the temple. There are also descriptions of the Govardhan Puja and Ratha Yatra. The 17th Vilas discusses preparations for deity worship, Mahamantra chanting, and the process of japa. In the 18th Vilas, the different forms of Sri Vishnu are described. The 19th Vilas discusses the establishment of the deity and the rituals observed in bathing the deity before installation. The 20th Vilas discusses the construction of temples, referring to those constructed by the great devotees. The details of the Hari Bhakti Vilas Grantha are given by Sri Kaviraj Goswami in Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 329 through 345. The descriptions given in those verses by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami are actually a description of those portions compiled by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the regulative principles of devotional service compiled by Gopal Bhatta Goswami do not strictly follow our Vaishnava principles. Actually, Gopal Bhatta Goswami collected only a summary of the elaborate descriptions of Vaishnava regulative principles from the Hari Bhakti Vilas. It is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami's opinion, however, that to follow the Hari Bhakti Vilas strictly is to actually follow the Vaishnava rituals in perfect order. He claims that the Smarta Samaj, which is strictly followed by caste brahmanas, has influenced portions that Gopal Bhatta Goswami collected from the original Hari Bhakti Vilas. It is therefore very difficult to find out Vaishnava directions from the book of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. It is better to consult the commentary made by Sanatana Goswami himself for the Hari Bhakti Vilas under the name of Digdarshani Tika. Some say that the same commentary was compiled by Gopinath Puja Adhikari, who was engaged in the service of Sri Radha Ramanji and who happened to be one of the disciples of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Regarding the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there are two parts, both of which deal with the discharge of devotional service. The first part is an analytical study of devotional service, in which there is also a description of different planets, including the earth, the heavenly planets, Brahmaloka, and Vaikuntha Loka. There are also descriptions of the devotees, including intimate devotees, most intimate devotees, and complete devotees. The second part describes the glories of the spiritual world known as Goloka Mahatmya Nirupana, as well as the process of renunciation of the material world. It also describes real knowledge, devotional service, the spiritual world, love of Godhead, attainment of life's destination, and the bliss of the world. In this way, there are 7 chapters in each part, 14 chapters in all. The Darshana Tipani is a commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Another name for this commentary is Brihad Vaishnava Toshani Tika. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, it is said that the Dashama Tipani was finished in 1476 Shakabda, or 1554 AD. So once again, the verse is, some of the books compiled by Srila Sanatana Goswami were Hari Bhakti Vilas, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Dashama Tipani, and Dashama Charita. Om Aganatimarandasya Kiranjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Dham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shinnivari Paschatadeshtarane Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripsrimivacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripsrimivacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So, this first chapter of the Madhya Lila of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is more or less a summary of the middle pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course, his associates are included in that summary description. And so here we have a description of some of the works of Srila Sanatana Goswami and his contributions. So, the 6 Goswamis were deputed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to very strongly establish the bhakti cult on the basis of the Shastras. This was their mission. So in the Shad Goswami Astaka by Srinivasacharya, second shloka, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Mitakarano Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandina Mantariko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanamitakarano Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandina Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo Shri Diva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha in Krishna. So the Bhakti cult, oftentimes even during Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's presence, those who are followers of Krishna, they're often accused of being sentimentalists. They just chant, they dance. They don't really know how to actually properly attain liberation. And so, many times, not just in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own pastimes, but even afterwards, the Vaishnavas had to face many challenges. So in Varanasi, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited there, this was, he was staying at the house of Chandrasekhar, and the Tapada Mishra was also told to go to Varanasi by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Varanasi there are Mayavadi sannyasis. And so to this day there are also many Mayavadi sannyasis there. So actually the whole of India is pervaded by Mayavadi sannyasis still. So so while he was there, they were criticizing the Lord. They would not even chant the name of Krishna. And they were accusing the Lord of just being a sentimentalist. And so one day, Tapada Mishra, Chandrasekhar approached Lord Chaitanya. They said, "My dear Lord, we cannot tolerate all this blasphemy of you. Please do something about it." So, Srila Prabhupada comments in this regard that because Tapada Mishra and Chandrasekhar, they were certainly devotees, they were certainly great pure devotees, but they were not fully conversant with the Shastras such that they could defeat the Mayavadis. But they knew the Lord could certainly defeat them, so they appealed to him, "Please do something about this." Then a Brahmana came by the Lord's own arrangement, and made an invitation. "I'm inviting all the sannyasis for lunch at my house. Please come." So all the Mayavadis were there. Sannyasis are there. They're sitting on these high asanas, and it's a custom among them to greet each other as Narayana. You know, that Namo Narayana, that you're Narayana. Because the Mayavadis, they do not see any distinction between the Jiva and Ishvara, Bhagavan and the Jiva. That's why they're called Mayavadis, because the distinction is illusory. There's oneness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came into the assembly. The Prakashananda Sarasvati was there. He was the head of the Mayavadis, sannyasis. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just, he didn't accept the asanas. He was just sitting on the floor, neglected. But he manifested a brilliant effulgence. So obviously, this is not some ordinary sentimentalist. This is a very special person, and he's manifesting the Tej of Narayan. So Prakashananda Sarasvati welcomed him in the assembly. Please come, please. And then, please say something about Vedanta. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he expounded Bhakti Vedanta. And he converted the sannyasis there to the Bhakti cult. So what this shows is that in order to establish the Krishna consciousness movement in this world, which is very opposed to bhakti, it is necessary to do so on the basis of the Shastras. So so there are many, the world of Maya and even is it's very difficult to overcome, and Maya is always putting so many roadblocks in our way. And also due to our own ignorance, we may not understand things properly. So therefore, we need to struggle to understand these things, and by the mercy of the Goswamis, they've given us many, many, many granths in order to direct us in this way. So, in this purport, the Hari Bhakti Vilas was mentioned at length here. All the 20 Vilas, a summary description, summary of the chapters, subject matters is given in them. So, Hari Bhakti Vilas is important to us because it gives direction on how we can live our lives, daily lives. So I'm going to read a little bit more, a few more, some interesting statements here from some of Srila Prabhupada's works about Hari Bhakti Vilas. So, it is stated, this is from Prabhupada's purport to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 128, the famous verse, Kiba viprakibinasi shudra kena nai, ye Krishna tattva veta se guru hai. Whether one is a brahmana, a sannyasi, or shudra, regardless of what he is, he can become a spiritual master if he knows the science of Krishna. So, piece of cake, right? All you have to do is know the science of Krishna, and then you can become a spiritual master. So, the problem is, facing us is, what if you just know Krishna 99%, or 98%, or you're still in training? Very interesting fact is that in the 6th chapter of Nectar of Devotion, where it talks about the 64 principles of sadhana bhakti, 64 principles, the 13th, one of the principles is not to have too many disciples. So a very interesting point about this is that even someone who's on the platform of sadhana bhakti, he's a sadhana bhakta, not yet a sadhya bhakta. He's still in the path of sadhana bhakti. Even he can act as a spiritual master. Now, when you're still on the path of sadhana bhakti, still somehow or other, there's some consideration for the influence of the material energy. So how do you manage that? So Hari Bhakti Vilas in part addresses that. So we'll see some other. So it is stated, so this is in the purport, it is, here's a very interesting thing. It is stated, this is Srila Prabhupada speaking, it is stated in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that one should not accept initiation from a person who is not in the Brahminical order if there is a fit person in the Brahminical order present. Very interesting. Now, why is it that we just heard this verse? This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling Ramananda Roy, it doesn't matter whether one is a brahmana, a sannyasi, or a shudra. One can become a spiritual master. And yet here's Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami, compiled by Sanatana Goswami, saying just the opposite. So what is going on here? So there's a paradox. So Srila Prabhupada continues. This instruction in the Hari Bhakti Vilas is meant for those who are overly dependent on the mundane social order and is suitable for those who want to remain in mundane life. So now what does this mean? Does this mean that Sanatana Goswami, he made a mistake? There's some flaw in his writing? that we shouldn't follow it, or that there's no application for it. It actually doesn't. So let me just continue reading this, what Srila Prabhupada says. If one understands the truth of Krishna consciousness and seriously desires to attain transcendental knowledge for the perfection of life, then he can accept a spiritual master from any social status, provided the spiritual master is fully conversant with the science of Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur also states that although one is situated as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Grihastha, or Sannyasi, if he is conversant with the science of Krishna, he can become a spiritual master as Vartma Pradarshaka Guru, Diksha Guru, or Shiksha Guru. So we have different statuses of life, different adhikars, and so forth. And so, depending on your adhikar, there are going to be different rules and regulations which are prescribed. So, this underscores the necessity of following the Shastras, what are the as given to us by our acharyas in the Parampara. So, just want to read a little bit here from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, very important set of verses. This is everyone is familiar with the verse Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pantaratra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhaktir Upataya Iva Kalpate. So that means that one who practices bhakti outside of the Shruti, the Smriti, the Pancharatra, the Puranas, it is simply a disturbance to society. So a little context here. I'm going to give a little context from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The previous verse and the next verse, and some commentary of Jiva Goswami. This is, what I'm reading here is actually from the English Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu translated by Bon Maharaj. So this is the one book that Bon Maharaj wrote that Prabhupada actually liked. So this is just basically a translation and just some summary commentary from Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So the verse before this, Shruti Smriti Puranadi. This is Sadhu Manu Vartanam Yattaskande, and this is Samrigya Shreyasam Hitu Panta Satapta Varjita Anapta Shramam Purave Yena Santa Pratatire. His translation is as follows: treading the path of the sadhus or the saints. In the Skanda Purana, it is said that the best way to tread is the path that has been followed without effort by previous sages, and following which they attained the Lord Himself. That is the path that is free from all kinds of ills of life and the source of the real fruition of the finite self. And the next verse is the Shruti Smriti Puranadi. And then the verse after that, this is very important. So why is this verse, the Shruti Smriti Puranadi, why is this verse important? So this is explained in the next verse. Bhaktira Kai Tanki, let's see. Bhaktirai Kantire Kantikire, let's see here. I don't have glasses. Bhaktirai Kireyam. Was it Amritcharat? Thank you. That helps tremendously. Bhaktirai Kantikirei. Let's see. Bhaktirai Kantikireyam Vicharat Praliyate Vastutastu Tata Naira Yada Shastriyatekshate. If that's Krishna, pick it up. Translation. For want of a proper assessment, such bhakti only appears to be overzealous. But truly speaking, there is no bhakti, and consequently there is no overzealousness in it, because all this is found to be antagonistic to all scriptural prescriptions. So there's a commentary here. So basically he's saying that if you do something in the name of Krishna and it's not according to the Shastra, it's not actually bhakti. So, commentary. So commenting on the above shloka, Sri Jiva Goswami raises a question. How can there be overzealousness in bhakti in disregard of the prescriptions of the Shruti, Smriti, Puranas, and other Shastras? So overzealousness means that you're you're really strongly, you're a fanatic. You're trying to follow too well. So the question, how can there be overzealousness in bhakti in disregard of the prescriptions of the Shruti, Smritis, Puranas, and other Shastras? So he's saying in disregard. And if there be overzealous concern and practice of bhakti, how does it become a source of all sorts of trouble? In reply to the questions raised by him, Sri Jiva himself offers the solution. The followers of Buddha and Dattatreya are zealously devoted to them, and one who does not enter into the merit of such atheistic devotion of the followers of Buddha and Dattatreya will mistake such zeal on the part of the atheist to be devotional overzealousness. So we can see that, like followers of Buddha, they're very dedicated to Buddha, very devout. Other followers, Dattatreya. I don't think too many people worship Dattatreya today. I don't think. But still, this is Jiva Goswami's mentioning. He says, but Buddha and Dattatreya did not follow the prescriptions of the Shastra, of the scriptures, and they were anti-Vedic and anti-theism. They had only shown disrespect to scriptural prescriptions, and therefore the ardent concern and practice of the teachings of the Buddha and Dattatreya cannot be said to be bhakti at all. On the other hand, they are antagonistic to bhakti and antagonistic to all scriptural prescriptions. Overzealousness following of such apparent devotion of the followers of Buddhism leads to atheism and hence worst form of evils. The aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra have established the scriptures, such as the Vedas, as the source of true knowledge about the absolute Godhead. So, therefore, Krishna also declares this in Gita, Vedais chastaver aham eva vedyaha. So, therefore, it's very important that our devotion be according to the Shastras. So, this is one of the, bhakti, in our tradition, there's a tendency to just love Krishna. We're just going to love Krishna. And we're not going to care about all these other shastras or traditions and so forth. We're just going to love Krishna. So what happened is, in very soon after the disappearance of the Goswamis, arose a class of pseudo-Vaishnavas called the Prakrita Sahajias. And there are different kinds of these. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur identifies 12 kinds there. And we should be convinced that there are going to be more than just these 12 kinds in the course of times. So other so-called devotees that, or devotional groups that pretend to follow the Krishna, tend to have devotion to Krishna, devotion to Prabhupada, but do not follow the Shastras. They're also a kind of sahajya. So just like there's this idea of the idea of this Ritvik guru, Ritvikism. You know, somebody many years ago, they put together a big compilation of all of Prabhupada's statements and say, here, this proves it. But they didn't also prove it by Shastra. So it's not just Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. It's not Guru or Sadhu or Shastra. It's Guru and Sadhu and Shastra. It has to be established according to the Shastras. So, I'm just reading on a little bit more here. Let's see. The aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra have established the scriptures such as the Vedas as the source of true knowledge about the absolute Godhead. Therefore, how can it be bhakti at all if one should ignore or go against the directions of the Supreme Lord, who is the original cause of all the divine descents or avatars, and who has said in the Vedas that the Vedangas, that one should tread in the path that has been followed without effort by previous sages, and following which they attained the Lord himself. And how can there be any real zeal in such non-bhakti? The Vedas that had recognized Buddha as a partial avatar of Vishnu, the same Vedas had also said Buddha was manifest in this world to establish atheism and preach atheism in order to dupe the demons. In the Vishnu Dharma Shastra, Buddha has been described as a Vaishya Avatara only, an advanced soul in whom the all-powerful Lord has infused certain extraordinary powers with a specific objective. Hence, the teachings of Buddha cannot be accepted to be bhakti, and therefore the overzealous concern of his followers, which appears like bhakti, causes a source of ultimate troubles ending in atheism. So going on, Sri Mukunda Das Goswami observes that bhakti, which is not in accord with the prescriptions of the scriptures, can neither be vaidhi nor raganuga, even though it is zealously practiced. It rather leads one to troubles and to wrong paths, and is a mental concoction and disrespectful to the path of the sages. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the atheistic devotion of the followers of the Buddha for the Buddha apparently looks like bhakti, which it is not. And it is the overzealous concern and practice of the followers of the Buddha that has become a source of troubles. In the same manner, the apparent bhakti of the modern sects like the Sahajas, Bolas, Saki Bekis, Ritviks, he didn't say that, but I'm saying it, etc., for Sri Krishna appears to be zealous to the non-critical minds, because in these cases there is disrespect for the scriptures and there can be no true bhakti in such cases. So this is, we're actually getting low on time here. I was going to read a little bit more, but we just had such a short amount of time. I was going to read some from a little more from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. There's a chapter 15, text 108. It talks about just some of these other verses from Hari Bhakti Vilas. In the purport, Prabhupada says, the regulative principles of Diksha are explained in Hari Bhakti Vilas, chapter 2, text 3 to 4. We just read here in the purport that the second Vilas deals with initiation. So, and the Bhakti Sandarbha, text 283. So, the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Adikshittasya Vamoru, Kriptam Sarva Nirartakam, Pashu Yonim Avapnoti dikshavirahito janaha. Unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, all his devotional activities are useless. A person who is not properly initiated can descend again into the animal species. Furthermore, text 210 in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Ato gurum pramamyevam sarvaswam vinivedyacha griniyad vaishnavam mantram diksha purvam vidanataha. It is the duty of every human being to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master, giving him everything, body, mind, and intelligence. One must take Vaishnava initiation from him. So, there are many verses like this given in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, and Srila Sanatana Goswami, he's actually referring to many other shastras, such as Narada Pancharatra, the different books of the Narada Pancharatra, and other Vaishnava Smritis. So basically, it's very interesting when Tapana Mishra, he was reading so many shastras, trying to understand what is the goal of life, what is the purpose of life. He was reading so many shastras and he couldn't come to a conclusion until he got the great fortune, the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed him. Then he says, yes, and now I want you to go to Varanasi, and we'll meet later. So this is the mercy of the devotees, the Lord and the devotees. They show us the path. So this Vaishnava Smriti, Srila Sanatana Goswami is choosing the different verses, choosing the different shastras. This shastra applies, that shastra applies, and so forth. And so if we need more information, we also can consult those shastras additionally. So Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi, Pancharatra Vidim Vina. So those are also authoritative. But Sanatana Goswami, he's giving us the pathway, how to understand which shastra. Just like Srila Prabhupada says that a physician, you take medicine, but it's not that you go to the apothecary or the chemist and say, I want this medicine, I want that medicine, I'm sick. I'll just take this medicine, and maybe it's maybe a medicine to, help you get pregnant or something, and you're a man, and that's not going to help. It's going to maybe create problems for you. So you have to hear from the physician. There's a parampara. So the 6 Goswamis have very nicely given us this literature in order to help guide us. So we're getting close to the end mark, and I would like to stop here and take any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
हिंदी में
अच्छा
बात करें
तो यहाँ पर जो प्यार है इसमें सनातन गोस्वामी के द्वारा लिखित 4 ग्रंथों का वर्णन हुआ है, हरि भक्ति विलास और भागवतामृत और दशम टिप्पणी और दशम चरित, ये 4 ग्रंथों का वर्णन हुआ है। तो इसमें प्रभुपाद ने बड़ा अच्छा उसमें जो है समझाया, विवरण दिया है ग्रंथ का। हरि भक्ति विलास के जो है 20 विलासों का जो है प्रभुपाद ने विवरण दिया कि हर विलास में क्या क्या विषय वस्तु है। फिर भागवतामृत भी प्रभुपाद ने समझाया कि ये बृहद भागवतामृत है। भागवतामृत जो है वो तो लघु भागवतामृत भी हो सकता है, लेकिन सनातन गोस्वामी जो लिखा है वो बृहद भागवतामृत लिखा है। तो बृहद भागवतामृत का भी जो है प्रभुपाद ने बड़ा अच्छा वर्णन किया है कि इसकी विषय वस्तु क्या है। फिर दशम टिप्पणी का भी वर्णन किया है, लेकिन दशम चरित का वर्णन नहीं हुआ। प्रभुपाद के तात्पर्य में दशम चरित का वर्णन नहीं हुआ। दशम टिप्पणी और दशम चरित ये 2 अलग अलग ग्रंथ हैं। जो दशम चरित है ये सनातन गोस्वामी ने जो लिखा है, ये बड़े रोचक ढंग से जो श्रीमद् भागवत के 10वें स्कंद की भगवान की लीलाएं हैं, तो उसमें भगवान कृष्ण को संबोधित करते हुए कि हे कृष्ण, तुमने ये लीला की थी, अब तुम मेरे ऊपर कृपा करो। हे कृष्ण, तुमने पूतना का उद्धार किया था और तुमने ऐसे पूतना को अपनी माता का पद दिया था, तो तुम मेरे ऊपर ऐसी दया करो। इस प्रकार से एक प्रार्थना के भाव में सनातन गोस्वामी ने पूरे दसम स्कंद का वर्णन किया है। तो वो एक जो है हमारे लिए बहुत उपयोगी ग्रंथ है, क्योंकि उसमें हम भगवान को सीधे भगवान से ही बात कर रहे हैं। जो 10वां स्कंद है वो इस तरह से है कि हम भगवान से बात कर रहे हैं और भगवान से ये कह रहे हैं कि आपने ये लीला की थी, आपने ये लीला की थी, आपने ये लीला की थी। इस तरह से सनातन गोस्वामी ने 10वें स्कंद का पूरा वर्णन किया है। और वो भगवान से बातें करते हुए कि हे कृष्ण तुमने ये लीला की थी, हे कृष्ण तुमने ये लीला की थी। तो वो जो है बड़ा रोचक वर्णन हो जाता है कि लीलाओं का भी वर्णन हो जाता है और भगवान से भी बातचीत हो रही है। तो ये जो है एक प्रकार का जो है ऐसा ग्रंथ है, संक्षेप में सब लीलाओं का वर्णन किया है। और आपकी ऐसी कृपा है, आपकी ऐसी महिमा है, हाँ, तो मैं भी जो है आपसे कृपा याचना करता हूँ। तो सनातन गोस्वामी इस प्रकार से दसम चरित्र जो लिखा है वो इस प्रकार का है। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
ओ चैतन्य